My name's Corey Trout, and today we're going to be putting the harness on and off Draego here. I've got two views, hopefully, that we're going to be using. So I've got the GoPro here on my chest, and I've got my still camera. Draego is a 6-year-old Percheron. He's going to be modeling for us today. We have most of his harness here. His bridle's sitting over off camera. But this is for the curious, this is a padded Yanni's breast collar harness. The hip strap has a draft style spider on it instead of the normal pleasure hip strap, but otherwise this is a Yanni's pleasure harness draft sized. So when we put our harness on, we tend to go front to back. We don't want to put the bridle on first. The bridle is actually the last thing, but so far as the body of the harness goes, we're going to put our neck wear on first. So we have our breast collar here. I'm going to unsnap his lead rope. Hi, thanks. Put a hand on either side of his breast collar. And, Draego, I need your head forward. Thank you. Slide it up and over his head. There's a good boy. Yep. Put his lead rope back on. The reason I put the breast collar on first is if you have a false martingale, especially this one has a snap on it because the girth has a little ring that I can snap into. But if you have a more classic false martingale that you just loop and send through your girth, you need the breast collar or the neck collar on first. You don't want to have to undo your girth and then feed it through. So we put our neck wear on first. Most of his mane's on the left-hand side, so I am going to rotate this clockwise, so we're not messing up his mane. And there we go, we are in position. Next, we're gonna grab the body of our harness here. I'm gonna put the breeching up on my hip, grab the saddle in each hand, and since I'm on the right-hand side here, we're gonna chuck it up over here. So set the saddle just about where you want it. You're gonna take your breeching, set it up over the hip, and then just leave it up on the hip at the moment. If I drop this saddle off of the hip, it's going to pull the saddle back, and we don't want to have to readjust the saddle. So I'm going to change sides. As mentioned before, this harness has a false martingale on it. So if it were the type that I had to loop through, I would snag my girth here, grab my false martingale, and hopefully you can see this on the GoPro, and I'd feed it through there before buckling it up. Now, because this one has a snap on it and my girth has a convenient little ring here, I'm going to go ahead and just do up my girth. It's going to go through the slot. Yep. And your girth, you want to be able to fit a flat hand in there. So we're going to... Oh dear, I did that. Whoops. We're gonna only buckle our true belly band on there. Flat hand, should feel a little bit of pressure around the sternum, but it shouldn't be overly tight. Now I'm gonna grab my false belly band here, and we're gonna snap it on there. Because we have a nice little convenient ring that means I don't have to loop it through. All right. So now we're gonna take our breeching and draw it down. Yep. So our belly band is now secured. We don't have to worry about pulling it out of place. So he has a dock, or a dock tail. So his tailbone ends right here. It was done before we got him, way before we got him, because they do it when they're babies. But anyways, so I don't have the advantage of a longer tail, so he really has to be cooperating here. He actually kind of likes it if I scratch his tail head, But I'm going to put my hand on the buckle of the crupper, slide it under here, so we are in position. You always want your buckles on your crupper to be even, so he's on 2 on either side. We're just going to double check. So far as the fit goes on this, whoops, sorry buddy. I know, we'll just do little scratches there. I should be able to fit a finger underneath there. It shouldn't be dangling below his bum hole there, and we look good. The other way to check is stacked hand underneath your turn back strap. All right, we got our breast collar on, we've got our crupper on. This one does have a neck connector strap. A lot of times I don't hook up right here. I'll walk him over to our property, hook up at the property and drive. So it helps to have a neck connector strap in that case because he's not pulling a load and that's not keeping the breast collar in place. If he drops his head, it could slide forward. So the neck connector strap is if you have a tendency to walk a distance between where you harness up and where you hook up. Otherwise, you don't necessarily need one. All right, dude, let's grab your headgear. So technically I should be on his left-hand side, but the lighting this morning puts me on the wrong side here. So we'll see how he does with me on the quote-unquote wrong side here. So he does have a side check on his bridle. Checks need to go over first. Yep, there's a good boy. Ah, where are we going here? Did I do it the right way or am I doing it the wrong way? Okay. So the check needs to go over his head first. There we go. And then we're gonna bring this around. Introduce the bit. He's usually really good about taking it. I usually do the far ear first. Yep. Then we can come over here and grab the near ear. Sorry, dude. I know. Good boy. If I were a smarter person, I would have undone the throat latch on the left-hand side. Or I would have done up the throat latch on the left-hand side and undone the right-hand side so I could show you. We want 3 fingers out from the side of his cheek. He does have a gullet strap on this bridle, and you'll kind of see, I think I may actually need to snug that down a hole, dude. Pardon me a moment as I make adjustments. All right. So this isn't a view you get often here, but he does have a gullet strap, and you can kind of see he is a little fuzzy, but that gullet strap actually pulls the throat latch forward between his jaw here, and that's part of what makes it more secure on his head. Huh, buddy? So at this point, if I wanted to, I could unsnap and this snap onto his bridle here. We do have our side check, and we're going to go ahead and set that up there. So what I like to do with my lines now on my harnesses is I have them actually buckled into the turret on the saddle, and I just store them with the saddle. So when I go to put it on, I just run it through the neck turret, beep, and we buckle onto the bit. Hey, dude. And then as I go around to the other side, I can be sure that it is appropriate. Now what I have up here is I have my line buckled around my lines, around itself, to hold them in position. This allows me to actually, I can long line him with another set and just leave these here and they stay nice and secure. So we're gonna unbuckle that. And I just have it looped through so I can just pull it straight out. Grab my line from the other side and just double check that we don't have any twisties going on here. Oop. Send that back over. There we go. Perfection. So for him, we are technically hooked up, ready to drive. Now, because again, I walk a little distance to where my cart's stored. Back up. Back. Yep. All the way, dude. Thank you. I am going to take his trace and actually just buckle it through my false belly band. So this is another thing that I do if I am, again, going a distance between where I'm harnessing and where I'm hooking. To keep this tidy, it prevents my trace from bouncing around. It also prevents this from coming untied because it holds this tight here and it's less likely to pop out. So this is just a in transit. I'm either long lining or leading him to my next spot. And don't get things stuck on your ear. Thank you. Okay. And this is going to keep it secure for me. So we are now harnessed, ready to go hook up.